Hey guys, it's John here from the Info Hut YouTube channel with another tutorial. Today's tutorial is on how to get cheap flights online. Now, this is not one of those scams that, promise you the world and deliver nothing. This is just the standard, pretty much, what resources are available on the net. In the last 3 or 4 years, I have actually traveled quite a fair bit. Being a fairly budget traveler, have found some secret hacks and sites that can get you guys cheap flights around the world. So pretty much the one main site or app that I have found is skyscanner.com. Now I'll just show you this app. I use the app and I'll explain why I prefer the app over using the website, as the search functionality is a lot better, and I'll explain that later. So first of all, we'll get the app installed. If you have an iPad, iPhone, Android, or a tablet, they're both available on the iOS store or the actual Google Play Store. So you install the app, Skyscanner, and then you open that app. Now once you open that app, you'll be greeted with a similar screen to what you see here. Now, when I find flights, I found that it comes down to being able to view a myriad of different flights over different dates. If you have flexibility, say within a week or two, you can always find cheaper flights than certain days. For example, certain flights to Asia from Australia can be a bit more expensive on a Friday, Saturday or Sunday. Depending where you are, different flights will have different prices at different days. Now the big problem with all these actual compare websites and stuff like that is that they don't have a search functionality where you can see different days at once. There's a few sites out there that'll say, oh, find a flight around that date, and it'll recommend. Now what you want to be able to do is look over a certain timeline and then see, oh wait a second, next Wednesday there's a flight at half the price, and we'll be able to pick that flight. So the most important thing is that you have to be flexible. If it's a certain date that you want flights, Skyscanner will find the cheapest flight, but obviously it'll be the cheapest flight for that day. So I've got an example here, and I'll just show you it. I've got LAX to New York, and pretty much you've got I'm leaving on the 5th of July and returning on the 12th of July for about a week. Now in this situation, if you're not wanting to actually fly on that exact date, if you have the apps installed, and it's only through the app that you can do this search function, is that you can check through a graph, and I'll show you what I mean by that. In the top right, you'll see, whoopsies, a bar graph, and you press that. Now this is the best function I've found with Skyscanner. Another site like kayak.com and a few other sites have this option to show a table, but I found that for some reason Skyscanner actually is one of the cheapest, and I don't know why. Maybe if one of you guys could actually explain why that is the case, because I do know kayak.com and like the other sites like hitmonk.com are working on the same type of mechanism, and for some reason it always seems to be Skyscanner that seems to be finding that these are the cheaper flights. Now I've been using this for years, and it seems to be the case. So what you do is, as you can see now, you'll have different prices for different dates. You got on the top departure, and you got on the bottom the return. So what you can do is you always start through departure. Now as you can see, on the Friday the 4th there's a flight for $254. It's a bit cheaper. Okay, now as you can see, when I pressed the cheaper flight going there, there's a return flight that's a bit more expensive. Okay, so the return flight will change, especially if you use premium or platinum airlines, like say Thai Airways or Singapore Airlines. The more budget flights and the budget companies will be a bit more consistent. So the reason being for that, it's kind of hard to explain, is that getting a return flight, certain airlines have certain prices, and Skyscanner can only really hone in on their airline prices. I know it's a pretty weird explanation, but just be aware that when you change a departure date, the actual return date will change. The return date price will change as well. So what I generally do is, because whenever I'm going overseas, it's just generally for a holiday, or if I'm going domestic flights, it's generally for a holiday as well. So my dates aren't too important. So I'll just shift along and then I'll see what is the cheapest flight. Now in the top right, you'll see that there's a price that does change. Now, when that price does change, I don't know why my computer is beeping now. When that price does change, that is the total price, and then you can press the actual search button, and it'll get that flight up, and by all means, it'll get close to that price, and it does take a while to search. But we'll go back to that bar graph, and as you can see, I'm going to move along until I find the cheapest flight. And this is going to keep searching, and you'll find the cheapest flight. Say I'm not going to let it finish searching, but say I want this flight, the 743, which is a bit expensive. You'll go and pick your return flight, and this is the total. Remember, this is the total price. And then you'll press book, and that'll take you to the American Airlines website, or you could even give them a call. Now, most of the time it's just a website you get connected through to, and what I mean by that is that you'll go through to that website. Now don't worry, there's not going to be any other hidden charges or fees. It's going to be simply what you see on Skyscanner. Skyscanner do not charge any other fees for their service. I think they actually get some type of referral from the actual company. Now, by all means, there are a few similar sites to Skyscanner out there. If you do have access to an app store where you can install the app, using that graph method is the best possible method available. You can just slide across, you can see what the cheapest flights are, and you can book. It's all about visibility and seeing what over a certain amount of time is the cheapest flight. So I hope that helped you guys. I know it's probably not the same type of tutorial that I usually do show, but I feel that this is beneficial for those that want to save a bit of money, and by all means, if you are patient, you'll find a good saving. By all means, if you like this video, please like and please subscribe to my channel. Next week I'm going to actually be putting a video on how to get cheap hotels, and this will be in different regions of the world as well. So there's a few little tips and tricks that you guys might learn. So thanks for watching. Bye now.